Can you believe the teen known as the Barefoot Bandit has been caught? Police in the Bahamas say the most wanted teenage fugitive in America was captured after crash landing a stolen plane on the island of Eleuthera. 19-year-old Colton Harris Moore could be facing dozens of criminal charges, including the theft of 5 airplanes.
Good morning again to everyone who's clicked onto the video. We really do appreciate it that you are taking the time to click on the video and subscribe. We have been getting a lot of love over on TikTok, which has followed over onto our YouTube channel, which we really greatly appreciate. But if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe and comment if you want to. Enjoy the video. This story begins in Mount Vernon, Washington. It is known for its annual Tulip Festival street fair, which is beloved by all residents. Colton Harris Moore. He was a quiet boy who loved the outdoors and he loved planes. He was said to have planes all up on his wall in his room. He grew up without a father figure in his teenage years. Neighbours would say Colton had a bad habit of stealing things and that he had a tough upbringing which would land him in and out of detention centres for most of his teenage life. In April 2008, when Colton was 17 years old, he was in a detention centre in Renton, Washington, for one of his many crimes in which he was serving a 3-year sentence. He ended up escaping through a window in the dead of the night. Colton, who was now free, runs to the outdoors into the dense woods of Camano Island. This is where he would spend his nights sleeping in tents, breaking into shops at night for food, and he would also break into vacant holiday homes, and he would sleep there for one night at a time. He would help himself to the fridge and whatever necessities he needed while he was in there. He would also have showers. He was accused of breaking into dozens of homes around the island. Residents began to notice strange purchases on their credit cards like outdoor gear, bear mace, computer hacking software, a GPS system, and finally porn. Looks like Colton couldn't go without porn for 2 years he was on the run, but sure look. When the police came close to catch Colton, he would just pick up camp where he was and he would move to a different part of the woods, so he would take the police off his tracks. And he grew up in these woods, so he knew every inch of it. During his escapades, Colton broke into a local restaurant and he used a credit card to buy plane driving manuals. He ordered them to the restaurant and sat around scoping it out the next few days. When the manuals finally arrived, Colton, he waited till the night time and he scoped out the area some more, and he waited till no one was in the restaurant, and he broke in and stole the manuals he stole. Colton's goal now was that he wanted to steal a plane and teach himself how to fly it through stolen aircraft manuals. He would also use YouTube videos. Colton made his way to Orcas Island where he watched planes coming and going while coming up with a plan. He broke into a small plane during the night, and not too far away from the airport he crash landed the plane into dense trees. The police thought it was drug runners who stole and crashed the plane, leaving Colton to vanish once again into the wild unnoticed. Colton was island hopping to the variety of islands around Orcas Island. He's believed to have stolen boats and planes to do so. Around this time frame, Colton eventually he made his way up to Point Roberts, which is in Canada. He made his way there on a boat he had stolen. From there, still on the run, he hitchhiked his way back to the United States. He then stole another plane and crashed it again in Granite Falls, Washington. He spent some time here camping out in the bushes doing what he usually did. He made his way back to Camano Island. During all this time, Colton, he had become somewhat of a cult hero. He gained a new nickname which was the Barefoot Bandit. This was because when he broke into shops and restaurants, he would be seen on the security cameras wearing no shoes and no socks, and he was just in his bare feet. He even had people making t-shirts and mugs with his face on them. He was being elevated to a folk hero in the community, but also there was still a lot of people that didn't like him at all.
We woke up about 1:30 to a helicopter basically hovering right above our house. At about 6 in the morning, my husband came out to feed chickens and do our morning chores, and that's when he discovered there was a footprints going through our property. He went right and saw the chicken coop and went into it, and then came out and the tracks led away from the coop. This one was found right about underneath where I'm standing, and then this one was found over by our pickup truck that was parked over by our chicken coop.
What gave you the idea to do that?
County deputy.
Oh, yeah?
He had made a comment about, since you're the only one that has anything like this, you should, make casts and put them on eBay and see what you can get for him. And so we tried it, and we had a lot of people look at him, and we set the price high, and I ended up getting 2 death threats on eBay. We hope that you're the one he kills because you're enabling him to proceed with his criminal career. And so, yeah, I mean, and we were just doing it all and just as fun. They're probably going to end up on the side of the chicken coop.
There was also some music made about Colton, about his escapades and flying planes, etc. After 2.5 years on the run, eluding local and federal authorities, Colton's time as a free man was coming to an end. After a few months of nothing, people thought Colton had died or that he found somewhere to lay low. But in the meantime, Colton was stealing cars and going from airport to airport and state to state, looking for the perfect opportunity to steal a plane. 9 states later and dozens of stolen cars, Colton finally finds a plane in Bloomington, Indiana. This would be his final airplane ride. This would take him to the Bahamas, where he landed the plane on the Great Abaco Island. On July 11th, 2010, Colton stole a 13-metre powerboat and made his way to Harbour Island, where he took a chase from police and security guards who had worked on the island. He then got off the boat while he was being chased, and he hid and waited out some time, and then he stole another boat trying to escape the island when cops shot the engine out, which brought him to a stop. Colton then held a gun to his own head. The authorities and everyone present, they talked him out of doing so. Finally, Colton was caught.
Appropriate to
I'll do.
ask Mr. Harrismore how he pleads.
Yes, to make everything really careful. We acknowledge receipt of the omitted information, and the indicated pleas will be guilty.
And do you waive formal reading as well?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Harrismore, would you please stand? Sir, by entering a guilty plea to both of these cases, you're giving up these constitutional rights. You're giving up your right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury in this county. Do you understand?
Yes.
You're giving up your right to remain silent and your right to refuse to testify against yourself. Do you understand?
Yes.
At trial, you could testify if you wanted to do so. You could cross-examine witnesses who testify against you, and you could bring in witnesses to testify for you at no expense to you. Do you understand you're giving these rights up?
Yes.
Are you aware that because these are felonies that you may not own, possess, or have under your control any firearm, and
Yes.
that you may not have a concealed pistol license?
Yes, I do.
Are you also aware that I do not have to follow anyone's recommendation as to sentencing?
Yes.
You have no, I don't know if you have a statement. My copy, the courtesy copy, has no statement that he's made.
As to the factual basis
Yes.
For these offenses, it's my understanding that the defense and Mr. Harris Moore, have indicated that the court can review the probable cause affidavits and make the findings based on those.
That's correct.
All right,
You
thank
probably
you.
have already done that, I would assume.
I have done that. I've read all of the materials that have been submitted and filed. I do find that the defendant's guilty plea is knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily made, that he understands the charge and the consequence of the plea. I also find that there is a factual basis based upon the documents that have been filed. I find you guilty as charged. You may have a seat.
So, fast forwarding 6 years after Colton was finally caught, July 2016, Colton was released on probation to a halfway house near Seattle due to good behaviour. He reportedly secured a job at his defence attorney's Seattle law firm, which he was doing low-end stuff. As of now, he wants to go to fly school and fly planes legally. Colton tried to make a GoFundMe page to raise money, which was quickly shut down by his parole officer. Now guys, that's all I have for you today on this story. This was a light-hearted crime, you could say. It's not like my usual videos, but I enjoyed making this one, and I hope you did too. If you've enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you once again.